one of my friends is super successful within the industry, and I told him about how women shouldn't spray fragrance across their chests because it's really
Yeah.
aging because of the alcohol within it. And he was
Yeah. Oh
like,
yeah.
"What?" So like, yeah, you kind of always learn stuff from people within the industry,
Oh
and
yeah.
it's such like a welcoming and friendly sort of community
Yeah.
that you feel you can just talk about your passion forever with it. So
Oh yeah.
like what we're doing.
So when you mentioned the spraying, so how would you tell everyone to like to spray? What's your routine? Do you have a special routine for us?
As a woman, I always spritz in my hair because I know you're not meant to because of the alcohol, but I don't really want it on my chest because and my neck. I feel like they're such delicate skin areas, so I always do behind the ears, obviously, and then
Oh yeah.
in my hair, or if I've got my hair tied back, the back of my neck. Um, I always spritz a little bit on my clothes as well, just because I know it'll last a lot longer. Obviously, you need to pay attention to how dark the fragrance is. If you're like wearing a white t-shirt and you spritz like an orange fragrance on, you're going to be like, whoops. But
Yeah.
yeah, definitely always a little bit on the clothes, just for that little extra bit of longevity. But for
Oh
women
yeah.
in the hair, when you move, it kind of like
You
reignites
have
it.
that scent bubble on
Yeah,
the
yeah. It's like a little trail.
oh yeah, the trail, yeah, the scent trail.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I feel like with some fragrances in the air, it smells better.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Yeah.
it's worse different. Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
do you believe in like moisturizing your skin and applying like fragrance? Do you think
To,
it makes it
I
last
don't,
longer?
a little bit. I wouldn't say it's like the holy grail, like this is going to make your fragrance last forever because honestly, it just depends on the power of the fragrance. If you're using a really like very light fragrance, it's not, no matter whether you've got moisturizer on or not, it's not really going to make a difference. And I moisturize every day anyway, and it's not something that I would add like as an extra. But I I try not to use scented like moisturizers because obviously I want my
Mm.
fragrance to
You
sort
don't
of
want to cross
do
over.
the talking. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of people like to layer like a body souffle with then a fragrance on top. But for me, I used to layer a lot, but now I'm trying to just embrace the fragrance by itself and just take that as like the work of art that it is, rather than being like,
Yeah.
let me make my own.
Yeah.
But like for example, when you live in Dubai, I try not to use fragrances when I go to the beach because I used to use Dolce Light Blue Intense all the time because I was like, it's very beachy, it's very nice. But there's just no benefit because it just kind of comes off your skin when you're in and out of the water. And
Yeah.
um, so I try and use the Sol de Janeiro body lotion instead, which is just very, for a woman, it's very like seductive. It's very like, it's a Brazilian brand. It's got like a lot of coconut. It's very like creamy, like nice. So I try and use a scented moisturizer if like a fragrance would be too much. Like if I travel, I use a scented moisturizer rather than a fragrance because who wants to be sat next to someone for like 9 hours on a flight when they're wearing like the strongest oud in the world and you're just like, oh, I just want to sleep. So yeah, I think there's little tips and tricks that you should definitely
Oh
you
yeah.
learn yourself. You learn what
Oh
works for
yeah.
you for definite.